Good morning. Welcome to Saturday and welcome to the weekend. This is Father Mark. And as we continue to have some conversation on the back end of our 50 days together, we have begun to have some conversation this week about not how to keep it going, but how for us together to stay engaged with the God who blessed us with the experience that we may have had. I've shared with you how my experience of the 30 day, really for me to reverence that, requires that I stay in a place where the Lord can bless me. And for each of you, remember that whatever you experienced in those 50 days, it wasn't a feeling and it wasn't anything that was coincidental or even anything that was overly complex. It was God who had a desire to bless you, and you had a desire to receive from him. And all we did in 50 days is make it really easy for those two things to come together. Yesterday, we began to have a conversation about three things that I think is just are really important for us to ask ourselves at this stage of our spiritual life. The first yesterday being just what did God bless you with? What was the core grace? Today we're going to talk about what do you need humanly in order to continue to receive those blessings, those graces. And then tomorrow we'll talk about just being on the lookout for temptations that might attempt, you might say, to steal those graces. Today, as we look at how to best reverence the gift that God has given us, we ask ourselves, what do we need humanly in order to stay, you might say, in a position to receive? Let me give you a concrete example. As I return home from my 30 day, I look back on my 30 day and I was just really surprised in my experience during the 30 day of how much coffee I did not drink. And, I love coffee from South Louisiana. We drink coffee all the time. And I was just noticing one day how much coffee I had left at halfway in the retreat. And I realized that I wasn't drinking a whole lot of coffee because I was really getting sleep. I was just really enjoying just the gift of like sleep and the gift of what human beings need. So as I return home from the 30 day, one of the things that I'm just real committed to is making sure that I get to bed on time so that I have enough natural energy, enough sleep in order to be really attentive to the Lord in the morning. Doesn't necessarily change the day and it doesn't reorder necessarily what I do during the day, but it does impact what I do at night. How I spend that very last part of the day to make sure that I am getting to bed on time and to make sure that when I'm there, I'm really intentional about getting to bed on time. Sleep, it's a human thing. It's one of the things that I'm committed to on the back end of the 30 day in order to continue to receive. Let me give you another example. I really enjoyed the gift of silence. Many people have said to me, I can't believe that you were silent for 30 days. For many people, that would just not be in their natural rhythm. But this is the second time I've done it. I did it in 2003, and of course, just on the heels now. I naturally love silence. Not that I could do a 30 day every month, but I can certainly have more silence in my life, and that just naturally disposes me to the Lord, and that's just who I am. So humanly, I've taken some things out of my life, trying to add as much silence as I can, whether it be not having the radio in a car, or I have significantly limited the amount of screen time I have on my phone, or any access to non-essential engagement with my computer, just trying to add more silence. And it's really made a big impact in just the 7 days that I've really been back in action. See, humanly, those are the things I need. And I don't know what it looks like for you, but you might need more sleep, or you might need more quiet, or you might need to put prayer on your calendar, or humanly, you might need somebody to hold you accountable to prayer, or you might need someone to unpack your spiritual life with. You see, grace builds on nature. Our human life is what God uses often in our spiritual life. And a lot of times we put way too much pressure on ourselves trying to engage with God when we're not taking care of the human things. And I'm an offender of that, but man, how about all of us together? What if we all together just committed to really having a conversation about what helped you in those 50 days? And I bet you it was some of those human things, those ordinary things like rhythm or discipline or direction. And if that's what you need, then just name that today. And then we'll come back to that on Monday as we talk about developing a plan about where we're going next. Enjoy the weekend. Hope that you are blessed beyond measure. Go Colonels and go Tigers. Go Saints. And until we see each other on the Sabbath, God bless you.